TFNN. Headline News Update. Here's Tom O'Brien.
Good morning, everyone. Basil Chapman here, sitting in for Tom O'Brien. This is the 10 a.m. update brought to you every day by Everbank. And let's just have a look at the Dow. The Dow is at up 56 at 20,228. It's moving higher. This is an all-time high. If you're looking at these charts, on the left here is the daily. This is the weekly. This is the monthly. Monthly is still very strong. Weekly is very strong, but it is in what I call the fourth leg, a leg D, so we've got to be somewhat careful here. What's really important about this is make it real simple. Within the next 2-3 sessions, if it's going to happen at all, this is where the Dow needs to pull back and needs to close decisively under 20,000. That will change the trend, at least short term. But in the meantime, you have to just look at this and say, okay, Dow's up 55, the S&P, S&P is, where did it go? S&P right now is, there it is up 4.5. So it is up 0.20 the percent. The Dow's up 0.28, slightly stronger. I prefer to have the 500 stocks stronger than the 30, but it is a leg D, and it is, all I can say is the same thing applies to the S&P. Very strong weekly, but it is leg D. Very strong monthly. We're looking at the daily, and at 23.12, it would take a slide in the next 2-3 sessions underneath 22.96. I'd probably say 22.92 to change the trend. The QQQ, which is the NASDAQ Index 100, in a very strong leg E. Now, this is the same thing, leg D in the weekly. Only the New York Stock Exchange was lacking that leg that I always look for. The leg D and now it's done it. So everything is lined up to say from this point on, we're going to be looking at, is this a consolidation that's going to take a rotational aspect? So maybe the steels start to move higher because they were weaker. Maybe the healthcare moves a little higher. As you're looking at gold pulling back, the dollar's trying to rally. This is a pivotal moment because we could have at least a shorter term pullback. But in the meantime, it's the SMHs that I'm following very closely. Very interesting that they are down at 74.87, down 39 cents. If the semiconductor index, which has had a tremendously strong weekly and monthly chart, if it starts to pull back and any time in the next 2-3 days closes under 73.70, the semiconductors are going to suggest that the Qs, the NASDAQ Index 100, is going to take a bit of a pullback, and therefore we'll be looking at this choppy market, and that's what I'm looking at. Let's look at bonds. Bonds right now are down 20-30 seconds. Let's look at the TLT. That's very important. That's the 20-year Lehman T-bond fund. It's down 59 cents. It's just stuck. It's very much like crude oil at this point, stuck in a range. If the TLT breaks under 118.30, that's going to say, be real careful. Yields are going quite a bit higher. But if it manages over the next 3 days to get back to the 122s, that'll be a positive. Meantime, it's just choppy. We're looking at the crude oil. Crude oil has had a nice move up. It's at 53.83. I've been talking about this between the 51s and the 55s. And we're going to see if crude oil breaks to the upside. Now, if crude oil does break to the upside, it would have to break about 55.55, and right now it's at 53.83. That'll be very important. I'm watching the volatility index, the VIX. If you look at the VIX index, you'll see it's down 16 cents. It's at 1074. If at any point in the next week, at any point, if you see the VIX index trading in the 13s, the market will be having a decisive pullback, and that will suggest that buying power is coming into the volatility index, selling power is coming into the market. So let me just remind you, this is the Everbank update. For more information about their products, you can call 855-750-4051 or visit everbank.com/TFNN. Have a great weekend. Thank you for being here.
Today, it's hard to tell if the economy is coming or going. Regardless, I want my money going in the direction I choose. If that's your stance as well, then you want to know how Everbank can help keep your money thriving just the way you want. Is growing your money a priority? Everbank is committed to a yield pledge promise to pay high yields on your checking, money market, and CD balances. Looking to diversify? Everbank ingeniously developed accessible ways to spread your money around the world into foreign currencies and even non-FDIC insured metals. And when it comes to your wealth, they bring a highly experienced and global perspective to help you manage it. Everbank's financial philosophy flies in the face of the status quo. They believe your money's performance should not be determined by today's economic circumstances, but by the drive to rise above them and create opportunities that favor your objectives. If that excites you, like it does me, call 1-855-750-4051 to find out what they can do for you. That's 1-855-750-4051. Call them today. Everbank is a member FDIC and equal housing lender.